Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. As you can see, I've changed it up a little bit, and yeah, we're just going to jump straight into this week's tips. Um, yeah, so as you can see, we've got the buys. There are 6 teams that aren't playing this weekend, which means we're going to have 3 less games, so only 6. Um, yeah, well, lucky for the Carlton, they needed a rest. They've been playing really well at the moment. The Suns doing alright, Cats doing alright, Essendon doing alright. Melbourne are in all types of shit at the moment. I wouldn't tip again. I wouldn't tip them this week, no, but regardless. West Coast, they need all the help they can get. But anyway, let's move on to Friday night footy, and that starts with Brisbane Lions versus St Kilda. This should be a pretty good game. Actually, no, it won't be. St Kilda's strategy last week was really boring. They kept going sideways. They flood. Brisbane have a lot of talls, so this will actually help them. And McCluggey just started to get back into form, and a lot of their forward liners starting to click again. You know, Charlie hasn't become the beast that he was last year, but he'll get there. So this is an easy tip for me. I'm going Brisbane. St Kilda, no chance in hell at the Gabba. Even though Brisbane are 13th, they should be a little bit higher. They're getting there. They're getting back to their full strength, but they're not quite there yet. But they'll easily get past St Kilda. By the way, we got 4 out of 4 out of 8 last week, so we did 50% better. You know, it was our worst week in quite a few weeks, but we still came out 50%, so that's all right. So yeah, we're moving on, and we got Saturday footy. So that first game of the day is going to entail Western Bulldogs versus Fremantle. Now, Marvel Stadium, Western Bulldogs, they're Treloar and I think Fremantle have a really good system going at the moment, and they've just had a week off, so I really do fancy them. The reason being is because people are starting to realise now that you can let Treloar do whatever he wants. You just got to shut down the Bont. And you shut down the Bont, you win the game. It's as easy as that. Like, Treloar is a damaging player, but he's nowhere near as powerful as Bontempelli. So Fremantle's midfield is going to absolutely make a mockery of Western Bulldogs, and this will be a pretty big upset because, as you can see, they're not tipped to win at all. So I think it might be because it's Marvel Stadium. I've always believed that Marvel Stadium is an away stadium for Melbourne teams because it's not as big as the MCG. It's just it's not the same as the MCG. It's smaller. It's, you know, the roof and everything. It's a different atmosphere. And Fremantle, teams like Fremantle and Brisbane and, you know, Gold Coast, they come down here and they actually play pretty good footy at Marvel. And Fremantle are going to do this here, and I think they'll flog them, actually. I think this will be... Yeah, we'll be talking about Western Bulldogs all next week. Oh, well, what's going on with them again? You know, it'll be back to 2 weeks ago when everyone was chucking spit about them. Yeah. So moving on to the next game, we've got Richmond versus Hawthorn. Richmond have found some form. Unfortunately, they had, I think, 1 or 2 more. This is Dusty's 300th game, so he'll probably bring out all the stops and everything. But yeah, I just think Hawthorn's midfield too strong. Yeah, it's pretty safe bet, to be honest. Yeah, I just think they're just going to be too good. They found a respect for themselves, consistency, and that's working for them. And they're doing it week to week, and they haven't really disappointed in a long time. So yeah, I think this will be quite a good win for them. Moving on to the last game of Saturday, we got Adelaide Crows versus Sydney Swans. Well, Adelaide are in absolute god-awful form. They've lost Rankin, they've lost... Tex was rested, I think, last week. It doesn't matter if he's in it or not. Sydney are on fire at the moment. This is not even going to be an upset. There's no chance in hell. They shouldn't be $3.20 to win this. It should be something like $5.50. It's just no way. Sydney are going to win this game. It's going to take a team like Collingwood or a team like Carlton to beat them. And Carlton already had their shot. Collingwood already had their shot, and they couldn't get it done. You know, like that's how strong Sydney are at the moment. They are just unstoppable. They are just having fun with the footy, and they'll just easily walk over Adelaide here. They're just no threat. So that brings us to Sunday footy, and first game up we have North Melbourne versus Collingwood. Now this will be an interesting game. North Melbourne have actually taken it to Collingwood the last 3 or 4 times they've met. Collingwood, on the other hand, just mature heads, get the job done, and they've won. But North, you know, they're starting to show signs of growth. You know, they just need that one midfielder to finish the package, and they're starting to find a backman. They've always had the forward line. I can't remember his name up forward, but they've had the forward line. Now they're starting to find a midfielder or two that they just need to learn a bit more. They need someone older to come in and help them out, which is why they're talking about Yeo being traded in the off-season. But I think Collingwood will win this game, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's closer than normal, because it's just North Melbourne have always had that on Collingwood. Like they're just they know how to play them, and this is either going to be a flogging or it's going to be a close game, and Collingwood will win that because they know how to win close games. So yeah, I don't give North Melbourne a chance in hell, but they could put up a fight. So that brings us to the last game of the round, and that's GWS Giants versus Port Adelaide. Now at NG Stadium in Sydney, Giants are in all sorts of trouble at the moment. Port Adelaide with the week off. Yeah, I think Port. Yeah, even though it's away from home, I don't think Rosie's back in the team. He might be. I know the Giants are. They've gone from one of the best teams to one of the worst teams, and that really shows. So I just think Port here. I really do. Like, they should just get the job done. And like, as you can see, the tipping, so it'd be a good bet for Port. Doesn't matter what stadium. Port, they've played in Japan, for fuck's sake. They don't care. So yeah. Well, that's it for the video. I hope you like this new setup. I'm just trying out something new. Good luck with the tips. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more. And as always, be good to your mother, and I'll see you next time. Peace.